Welcome back. We now shift our attention to the distribution of permanent voter cards across the country. We have the figures according to what INEC gave to us, and we have the Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Mr. Kayode, joining me now from our Abuja studio. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Idowu. All right, Mr. Idowu, let me start by asking you, can you give us an idea of how far you have come? It's just a few weeks to the election now, and from what we gather, 38.7 million permanent voter cards are what you have so far given out to Nigerians ahead of the election. What is happening? What are Nigerians supposed to be looking forward to in this process?
Thank you very much. Now, as at Thursday, the Commission decided that the distribution of the public sector cards but from last weekend, the distribution has been centralized the government who have found.
All right, it seems we're having some issues with the audio there. We'll go back to Mr. Kayode as soon as we're able to resolve some of the audio. We apologize for the audio problems with connecting with him via telephone. He's actually standing by in our Abuja studio, and we shall be seeing him live there. Let's take a look at some of the figures that we have that probably will give you an idea of where we are on this particular matter. Well, from INEC says that a total figure of the permanent voter cards that it has distributed is put at 38.774219 PVCs distributed nationwide. It says it's received a total of 54,341,610 permanent voter cards, but there's a balance of 15,567,219 yet to be collected by Nigerians. Well, the percentage of the PVC distributed nationwide by the Commission is then, as at 7th of January 2015, when these figures came out, is now put at 71.35%. Well, across the states, that's what we've seen in the distribution. The PVCs have been distributed across the states of the Federation. Even some of the states that we may not be seeing state elections, governorship election, but we'll be seeing national, the general election, the presidential election, and so on, and the House of Assembly election. But based on the zones, what do we have? The Northwest has the highest number of distributed PVCs. It has over 12 million PVCs that have been distributed. And these are the states where we have seen in this region: the Kebbi State, Zamfara State, Jigawa State, Sokoto State, Kano State, Katsina State, and Kaduna State. We've seen these PVCs distributed across these states of the Northwest. And it has the highest across the country. This zone has the highest. Let's look at the zone that comes close to it. It's the southwestern zone of the country, and the figure is just half of what we've seen in the Northwest. The states in the southwest where we've seen the distribution are Lagos, Osun, Ekiti, Ondo, Ogun, and Oyo State. So far, over 6 million PVCs have been collected by voters in this region. It comes second in the region across the country. Southwest comes second, and what comes next is the South-South, the third in the number of regions that have received the permanent voter cards distributed by INEC, and the South-South has received over 5 million, about 5.7 million PVCs. And we've seen Bayelsa State, Rivers State, Akwa Ibom State, Cross River State, Edo State, and Delta State. These 6 states in South so far, voters have collected over 5 million PVCs. And North Central comes next with just very close to about 5.5 PVCs have been collected in this region. How many states of the North Central? 6 of them. And they are Benue, Kwara, Nasarawa, Kogi, Plateau, and Niger. Okay. And the Northeast is the lowest in terms of the distribution. Out of the 6 states in the Northeast, we have only 5 states that currently, or at the moment, we've seen the distribution. Over 4 million PVCs have been collected in the northeastern region. Let's make a note that voters in Borno State are yet to collect their PVCs. And the least in the regions is southeastern region of the country, with 3.9 million PVCs so far collected in the 5 states of the southeastern region of Abia, Anambra State, Enugu State, Imo State, and Ebonyi State. But that's the breakdown according to the regions. What about the states some of the states that have received the highest numbers? The top 3 states are Kano State, Kaduna State, and Lagos State. Kano comes first with the highest number of PVCs collected. We've seen over 2.7 million PVCs distributed in Kano State. And in Kaduna State is over 2.6 million PVCs, and Lagos comes close with 2.1 million PVCs distributed. Let's talk about the states with the lowest number of collection that we've seen. Bayelsa State comes the lowest with just 370,000, and the FCT has 411,000, and Ekiti State has 481,000 PVCs collected. And that's a breakdown for you. We have the CPS2, the INEC chairman, Mr. Kayode, who is standing by live from our Abuja studio, joining me now. Thank you for coming on the program, Mr. Kayode. Let's start with you giving us an understanding from these figures. We got these figures from you. Give us a sense of what is happening. The figures so far that we've seen isn't encouraging, is it?
Yes, thank you, Sheol, for having me on this program. Now, let me make a quick correction as regards Borno State. Distribution commenced in Borno State on Friday, and so we have been distributing cards in Borno State. Now, that means some figures will very shortly be registered for that state. Now, as regards the other parts of the country, yes, it's not as much as what INEC would desire. We have issued some 54,000 cards, 54.3 thousand cards, and about 38 million of this have been picked up. As at last weekend, the Commission decentralized the distribution to the ward levels in order to ease the access of people who are yet to pick their cards, because it is important for everybody who has been validly registered and who has a card printed for him or her to pick up that card, because without the permanent voter card, there will be no voting. So we have pushed the permanent voter cards closer to the people, and we expect that they will come forth to pick it up at the different ward distribution points. Now, for people who are not so sure of where the ward distribution points are, you can go on our website. There are 8,809 ward centers across the country. So you can go on our website, click on inecnigeria.org. You will see a link that will show you all the ward distribution points and the addresses that you can go to pick up the permanent voter card. So we hope that with this decentralization, the rate of collection will go up, and we will have a better rating.